Thanks for joining us this Sunday on What Matters This Week. I'm Lauren Maloney. Joining me now is Hattie Johnson, the Executive Director of Camp Ta-Kum-Ta. Wonderful to see you again.
Nice to see you too.
This will air on Sunday, and at this point, there will be kids swarming the camp, right? The big week-long summer camp is underway.
It is underway. This year's theme is TKT, this place is a zoo. And it is so fitting because when all those kids are there, our volunteers are there. It truly is a zoo, and it is just filled with kids having the time of their life, experiencing things that without Camp Ta-Kum-Ta they would never be able to experience anywhere else.
How many kids this year, Hattie?
We have 73 kids that are currently registered,
wow.
And that's a big number for us. In years past, we usually end up having about 60 to 65 kids, so this is a big year for us.
And just so everybody knows, this is for kids who have or have had cancer. Correct. And this is not just camp. As I've been there, it's an experience for them.
It truly is. You know, when a child is diagnosed with cancer, they really lose a piece of their childhood. Their childhood is robbed by this horrible disease, and so they don't always get the chance to go to Boy Scout camp, horseback riding camp, soccer camp, like their friends and their siblings get to. And so Camp Ta-Kum-Ta is an opportunity for them to get a piece of their childhood back. Our #1 goal there is to give these kids a chance to just simply be a kid.
What are some of the activities, maybe new this year, that the kids can look forward to?
So we do a lot of traditional camping things. So campfires, swimming, we have an amazing ropes course, we have basketball courts, tennis courts, we do a lot of games, lots of singing, incredible meals. So all of those traditional things, and then we do some unique things that are unique to Camp Ta-Kum-Ta. So this year we're going to be visiting the West Monitor Barn, where we will have an evening in the rainforest. We will also be having our formal dance. So each year during the summer we put on a formal, because some of these kids don't get a chance to go to their formal. Maybe they miss too much school because of their illness, and so they don't get that opportunity to go to a prom. Maybe some kids just simply never make it to their prom. And so our formal is such an important night. We have a costume box filled with hundreds of gowns that people collect throughout the year. Needleman's Bridal has been wonderful in donating hundreds of brand new prom dresses to our campers, and then we have seamstresses right there on site that fit all of these gowns, tuxes, everything, and it's just a beautiful night. So in addition to those traditional camp activities, we do some unique activities as well.
This is just as important for parents as it is for kids. So I want you to tell me probably maybe some of the best reactions you've heard from moms and dads in the thick of camp when it's over about how their child has really changed in just that week.
Yeah, so camp is, I mean, for your child, sending your 7-year-old child away to a week-long sleepaway camp is scary enough within itself. Sending away your sick child for a week-long sleepaway camp is scary. And so there's a lot of parents that it's hard. It's a really hard thing to do. But when they pick up their child and their child tells them that they've had the best week of their life, they know that they made the right choice. It is one of the most selfless things a parent can do, is to send their child to Camp Ta-Kum-Ta, because it gives them that chance to do what every child should be able to do when they're growing up. And I think one of my the most rewarding thing to hear is when a child says to you, "I wish I was diagnosed sooner so I could have come to camp longer." That's pretty meaningful, to think that a child can only come to camp between the ages of 7 and 17, for the most part, that they wish that they had cancer longer so they could come to camp for 12 years, 15 years, all of this time. It really shows the impact of what this program does for these kids and how it transforms them. It also gives the parents a respite. It gives them a time to reconnect with the siblings, themselves as husband and wife, or do things and take care of themselves. We always say it's so important to care for the caretaker, and that is just so true. So,
and we can't forget about the volunteers who are really heroes, devoting really their own vacation time, as you said, to spend time helping these kids transform really a part of their lives.
Lauren, we could not do this without our volunteers. We have 5 people that are on our paid staff, and outside of that, it is volunteers that come from all over the United States that come and devote, again, their own vacation time, time away from their family, time away from their animals to give back to these kids. And our retention rate for volunteers is probably 95%. Once people come and volunteer at camp and they see what a difference they make in these child's lives, they want to keep coming back for more, and they get so much out of it. So Camp Ta-Kum-Ta could not exist without our amazing volunteers.
Quickly, let's talk about the pavilion dedicated last week. What will this mean for the campers this year and even in the winter?
Yes,
right?
yes. So we just had our ribbon cutting ceremony this past week for our brand new pavilion, and this space will be a multi-purpose pavilion. Its main purpose being our dining hall. So for the 10 years that we have owned our property up in South Hero, we've been renting a tent as our dining hall, and so much happens under that dining hall. You hear just laughter and the kids singing, and you see lifelong friendships being created. You see memories that will last a lifetime happening under that space. And so having this pavilion, having a safe space, so when storms roll through,
yes,
we don't have to worry about that anymore because we can use this space regardless. So it's going to be, we will have everything from games of broomball to skits to movie night to mealtime, absolutely everything. And in the winter, our ice rink will reside under that pavilion. So it is an absolutely amazing new addition to our facility.
Hattie, before we go, for our viewers who may not know, and I love this story, tell us the reasoning behind the name of the camp.
Yes. So back, gosh, over 34 years ago, our founders were up at the hospital talking to parents and asking them, you know, would you have interest in a camp like this? Would you send your child to a camp like this? And there was this young girl, Tosh, and she came up to Ted Kessler, who is one of the founders, and she said to him, how old do you have to be to come to camp? And he said, you have to be 7. And she said, well, I'm only 4. And he said, well, you're going to have to wait a couple years. And she looked at him and she said, but I want a Camp Ta-Kum-Ta. And that's how we got our name. So we've been around for 34 years. Tosh is still one of our volunteers, which is wonderful.
Fantastic.
And we love to share that story. And once people hear it, they'll never forget how to pronounce
yes,
Camp Ta-Kum-Ta. So
that's
we all want a Camp Ta-Kum-Ta.
Yes, I
yes,
appreciate you telling that again. Hattie, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
We'll be right back on What Matters This Week.